Draculina, the iconic and mysterious twin of Vampirella, made quite a name for herself in the comics, but her origin has been sort of a mystery, unable to make us understand the reason behind her hate and rage. Brace yourself for a journey into the origin of Draculina, which is as ruthless as it gets. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Tragic and horrifying birth of Draculina. More than 1,000 years ago, a woman named Lilith, a powerful vampire, faced a dire predicament. Her tribe was on the brink of extinction, surrounded by enemies on all sides. Lilith, driven by the primal instinct to protect her vampire tribe, offered her own soul to the demon Belial in exchange for power. Belial, however, had plans beyond the immediate bargain. He wanted her to give birth to his children. She remained locked up in a tower giving birth to Belial's children until the birth of Draculina, who bore no trace of demonic lineage. Infuriated by this twist of fate, Belial, in an act of cruel vengeance, tore Draculina away from Lilith, but ended up losing her to the currents of the time stream. Lost in the currents of time, Draculina's existence fragmented into countless echoes, each one existing in a divergent reality. In these alternate worlds, Draculina's essence adapted and evolved, becoming a myriad of beings across time and space. Draculina's thirst for immortality, feeding on Adam's blood. Draculina had a thirst not just for blood, but for power beyond the mortal realm. Her intentions went far beyond the mere desire for eternal life. She sought to become the ruler of hell itself. Adam, the vampire hunter who was possessed by mad god Chaos, still retained residues of that power, became the key to her sinister ambitions. Draculina intended to use him to open a gateway portal to hell, a passage through which she could ascend to become the ruler of hell. Vampirella sensed her sister's plan and confronted her in a desperate showdown. The two vampires clashed, their powers colliding in a dance of darkness. In the midst of the confrontation, Vampirella uncovered the truth about Draculina's plot to harness Adam's blood for the gateway ritual. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Vampirella made a fateful decision. With an agile move, she sank her fangs into Adam's flesh, drawing forth the blood that still bore traces of chaos. As the life force coursed through Vampirella, the chaos-infused blood severed Draculina's control over Adam, weakening her grip on the gateway ritual. In a retaliatory move, Draculina, undeterred by her momentary setback, initiated the opening of the gateway dimension. A swirling vortex emerged, threatening to engulf Vampirella and her allies into the abyss of hell. However, in a race against time, Vampirella, aided by Adam and Pendragon, managed to thwart the impending catastrophe. The trio, united against the looming threat, destroyed the infernal machine that would have sealed their fate in the hellish dimension. The chamber echoed with the sounds of chaos and destruction as the portal destabilized. Despite Vampirella's desire to save her sister Draculina, consumed by her own thirst for power, made a drastic choice. With a final chilling glance at her sister, Draculina threw herself into the portal, willingly descending back into hell, seemingly for all eternity. Draculina, Lilith's favorite daughter, appears in Vampirella's world. In the dark underbelly of San Francisco, Imogen, an NYC cop delving into the supernatural, takes on covert assignments that lead her to a hotel room where a 13-year-old girl named Katie wakes up to a lifeless body drained of blood. Katie and Draculina share an unusual coexistence, their fates intertwined through a cursed candle that, when lit, swaps their bodies until Draculina succumbs to slumber. As the narrative weaves through Draculina's day job as party girl River East, she meets up with Xylovan as they discuss finding the two remaining fragments of the daemon Periapt that hold the power to kill Belial. Katie revealed herself to be a young Draculina from an alternate reality with a demonic sidekick, Stan, a Maligni, a demon residing inside a rat. Draculina has been trying to kill Katie, as their magical connection can only be severed if one of them dies. A Aboard a bus to Los Angeles, Stan narrates how lighting the candle sends her to the dark world, an astral plane taking the shape of a foster home based in LA that Katie hated, and probably so did Draculina. Katie would be abused by the foster parent Arnie, who would also attach cameras in the shower. Flashbacks reveal Belial in his human form of Geostashi coming across Katie as he tries to forge a connection with her. He also sends Hesiod, Draculina's betrothed, from a distant reality to confront her. Their confrontation leads him to reconstruct reality, turning Draculina human and Katie into a vampire. Draculina, still determined to kill Belial, makes her way to rob a museum to collect the final piece of the Daemon Periapt. The tale converges with Katie seeking Xyloven for a new black candle where she finally comes face to face with Draculina. Draculina, Katie, and Hesiod start searching through LA for Belial, first visiting the foster home where Belial would search for Katie. The search is cut short as they find Vampirella, who has become a mashup of both herself and Draculina, along with retaining no memory of Katie and Draculina, due Hesiod's reality mashup. To be present there, who has killed the residents of the foster home and threatened to kill Draculina, leading to a confrontation between the two. Katie asks Draculina to give Belial a chance, but Draculina remains unconvinced, leading to the former running away with the Daemon Periapt. When Katie gives the Daemon Periapt to Belial on the top of a tower, it is revealed to be a fake, with Draculina soon following and throwing the real one on Belial, taking him down, while Katie flies after him to save him. During the whole confrontation, Lilith, who had been moved to this new reality earlier by Belial to prevent Draculina, asks Hesiod to restore the reconstructed world and also release him from the vow of marriage with Draculina. This results in Draculina becoming a vampire again, while Katie mid-air reverts back to her human form, but is on the verge of dying now that she lacks wings. Draculina, being joyful about finally being free from her connection with Katie, gets confronted by Hesiod one last time, who suggests that rather than being driven by hate, she can finally have a life with the help of Katie. A change in conscience led her to save Katie from falling to her death and finally decide to be with her like a family. Lilith's Return, a demonic family reunion. Katie confronts Draculina in an alley while Draculina holds the body of another Vampirella double. Katie and Draculina confront each other, verbally and physically. The real Vampirella shows up at the last minute to intervene and bite Draculina to kill her, only for Katie to realize that it was Draculina's plan because she wants to die. In an attempt to save Draculina from dying, Katie tries to use the cursed candle, but it ends up taking both Draculina and Vampirella to the infinite reality void, where the former was trapped in for centuries. Lilith requests Victory to help get them out and explains the nature of the prison they're in. Elsewhere, Katie fails to make the cursed candle work when Vodyanoi, one of Lilith and Belial's children, arrives and takes Katie hostage, believing this can help him negotiate with Belial for rewards. Inside the void, Vampirella and Draculina jump from one reality to another as they witness the events that shaped both their childhoods, starting with them being chased by cops in Draculon who wanted to use Vampirella as bait to lure out Lilith, and then moving to Arnie's foster home where Draculina was abused. Slowly, they begin to see that their rivalry might be a result of their poor upbringing and lack of love. Draculina reveals the first time she encountered a version of Vampirella and wanted to be like her, to have the power to kill her enemies and to never be afraid again. The angel Samyaza soon appears and talks to both of them about Lilith, revealing that he is the biological father of Draculina, not Belial. They soon come across a house being protected by ash giants with an alternate version of Draculina sitting inside with a baby in her hand. Vampirella later points out that this means even Draculina is capable of having a happy life if she tries. Draculina tries to ask Samyaza more about his relationship with Lilith, but he disappears, making her wonder if he was telling the truth or not. Katie manages to break into the dark world to join them after she was removed from a fight between the angels and demons. Meanwhile, Lilith attempts to sacrifice Victory to gain access to Belial's ring, which helps them move across realities. Victory teleports herself and Lilith to to a frozen landscape while fighting her and bleeding out from the wounds she sustained. A father and daughter appear, hearing Victory's cries for help as they pass by on snowmobiles. When the father comes to her, away from his daughter, the man starts raping Victory. This leads to Belial's ring activating and ends up killing the man, which helps restore some of its power while also allowing Victory to light her candle. Finally switching places with Draculina, Vampirella and Katie finally taking them out of the void. How powerful is she? One of Draculina's most remarkable attributes is her enhanced senses, surpassing those of any ordinary human. These heightened abilities vary among vampires, shaped by dedication and training. Whether it be acute vision, superhuman hearing, or an exceptional sense of smell, Draculina's sensory prowess is a testament to her centuries of existence. Immortality is another gift bestowed upon Draculina. As long as she continues to consume blood, she remains impervious to the ravages of time, forever frozen in the physical state she was in when she first embraced her vampiric nature. Regeneration complements this immortality, allowing her to heal any injuries through the consumption of human blood. Draculina is virtually indestructible, bouncing back from harm with a tenacity that only adds to her supernatural allure. Her strength is superhuman, far surpassing the capabilities of a regular human. Draculina wields this power effortlessly, making her a formidable adversary in any confrontation. Additionally, she possesses psychokinetic abilities, ranging from clairvoyance to mind control. This potency of her telepathic talents allows her to manipulate the minds of multiple individuals simultaneously. Hypnosis is yet another weapon in Draculina's arsenal. With a mere gaze, she can mesmerize human targets, bending their will to her desires. However, opponents with exceptional willpower may prove resistant to her hypnotic charms, and other supernatural creatures may be impervious altogether. Transformation is a skill that Draculina employs with finesse. Whether morphing into bats, wolves, rats, or even mist, she adapts her physical form to suit the situation. During these transformations, her mental acuity remains unwavering, showcasing her adaptability and control over her powers. Additionally, Draculina can metamorphose selectively, altering her appearance to imitate others or enhancing her lethal capabilities with claws. Speaking of claws, Draculina can transform her fingernails into razor-sharp implements, ideal for rending and tearing through flesh. While not as potent as a werewolf's claws, they are formidable weapons in her hands. Her most iconic weapon, however, remains her fangs, enlarged, retractable canine teeth designed for puncturing the jugular vein of her victims, sating her thirst for their life-giving blood. Marvelous verdict. The untold tale of the twin Draculina, intricately connected to the legendary Vampirella, captivates with its blend of darkness and kinship. As the curtain falls on this mesmerizing saga, one can't help but wonder about the enduring power of blood ties and rough upbringing that shaped her, and how much Lilith's favorite daughter has suffered for centuries being lost to time. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.